Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to a new episode of When You're Delusional, You're Gonna Be on TikTok. I do hope you're gonna enjoy the video, so let's just get into it.
Oh my god, over the weekend, everyone was telling a story about a crazy ex-girlfriend, and I guess like the guy was trying to break up with her.
My modus operandi is having the back of the ex-girlfriend. I will defend her honor every single time to a guy that I'm dating. I use any negative descriptions about her or about her behavior as an opportunity to educate the man on how certain behaviors that he was exhibiting might have made her feel and driven her to her limits, pushed her over the edge. It's obviously a red flag if a guy says, oh, my ex was crazy. But a yellow flag is when guys just describe their ex negatively and kind of don't present a lot of context surrounding, the circumstances that led to that behavior and don't demonstrate a lot of reflection about how they may have played a role in it. And it's not super uncommon for guys to have not done that kind of reflection. They're not encouraged to do that kind of reflection.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead a bit because she goes on for more than 3 minutes, and also because I feel more educated already. That first video, that first lady was talking about why she's supporting the crazy girlfriend, and you're out here defending her honor, defending the crazy girlfriend's honor, and it's always the same narrative. What did you do to make her crazy? She was crazy from the beginning, or in some cases, I simply said no. If I'm not okay with you doing something shady, I'm gonna say no. That right there leads to two options. You're gonna respect my decision, or if I'm the one going off the reservation, you can leave. That's what normal grown adults do. If you bring out the yelling, the crying, the naming, the shaming, it's not me doing something that brings out the crazy. No, you're crazy all along.
So I always have the ex-girlfriend's back because it's also, and this is a little selfish, but it's also a way of having my back in the future and making note of, okay, this is obviously a potential dynamic that could be repeated. And never once have I been wrong about the fact that, oh, the way that the guy is describing the ex, I have started acting like some version of that at a certain point in the relationship. I'm obviously single. I'm not married right now. So this is true of most of the guys that I've dated in a serious way, not the ones that I've, dated for a month or something. That's super different. But people tend to repeat patterns. They tend to repeat cycles until they've learned, and a person hasn't learned if A, they hear that description of behavior, like I haven't learned, and I'm like, I don't know if this is the person for me. And then the guy hasn't learned either if he's picking me.
If he's picking you, then that's on him. If the guy that you're dating is describing his ex as being crazy, and then you started acting in some version of that, like you said, I can understand why you said that's being selfish. It's because he's describing the same actions you might put him through, and it's easier to put the blame on him for doing something to bring out the crazy than to look in the mirror and maybe not act in that way. I'm gonna read this for everyone just listening. You think your friends are psycho? Mine called the cops for a wellness check on a guy that was just ghosting her. Go ahead, try to defend her honor. Oh, but she's crazy because the guy ghosted her. No, she's just crazy. Ghosting or rejecting, it will still bring the same result.
Here's what I think happened to our society, and I'll explain it in energetics. So imagine the feminine. And she's just doing her thing. She's in a field of flowers, and she's sunbathing, and she's singing and humming to herself and having a really good day. Because she's so embodied and present, she's beautiful, she's magnetic. And so along comes a masculine, he notices her, and he wants her. And she's like, go away, you dirty little man. I don't need you. I'm just here hanging out with my friends, the birds and the butterflies. And then he becomes obsessed with her. And he has all these feelings that he can't manage internally. And so he projects that onto her. He projects that she's making him feel the shame. And he projects that she's rejecting him, and so he gets really insecure.
Okay, I've heard enough. Being the dirty little man that I am, and not to mention getting so insecure after listening to you for so long, I found a better solution to both our problem. So instead of me trying to get you, let me show you something better. Okay, let's see what this other angel from a different field of flowers have to say. Men are visual creatures. Okay, why y'all look like that then? Well, we look like this because we don't have that many filters to change our appearance. And even if we did, I don't expect too many men will use them. Probably that's why they never came up with a filter for men. But you, princess, you really shouldn't be the one talking about looks. Not to mention that men are visual creatures doesn't mean what you think it means. It means more that we're gonna look at you and see what we find. And so far, we found you wanting.
We really need to talk more about the way men abuse women. with their hobbies. And by that, I mean the way that so many men will spend all of the family's extra money on their stupid hobby, whether it is a gear room full of every kind of climbing rope and climbing shoe and cam and black diamond this, blah, or, hunting or fishing or golf. Or let's talk about the nerd, like games. I don't know how much games cost, but I'm pretty sure all that stuff is expensive.
What in God's name is going on? Now a man having hobbies is considered abusive to women. It doesn't surprise me. Hiking, fishing, mountain climbing, hunting, video games, it's abuse. Everything is abuse. Women are always a victim. So I guess a man is supposed to go to work, come home, do nothing. Don't move. Don't breathe. Don't you dare put your hands on that phone. Just sit. Sit and stare into nothing. Because I'm pretty sure that breathing is going to be abused soon. We're spinning into like a literal insanity at this point. I mean, are any women calling this out? Here, we see these videos and we applaud it. Another nail in my victimhood coffin. It's pure insanity.
Yes, it is, and unfortunately, it's only gonna get worse. Now, that lunatic that you're responding to, if we take the first lunatic from this video, she's gonna try to defend her honor. It's not that she's crazy. She was with a man having hobbies, and it was because of his actions that drove her crazy. And since we're speaking of hobbies, probably she should get one.
The absolute biggest difference between Europe and the US is not the food or any of that. It's the fact that people in the States live to work, whereas in Europe, people just work to live. Like, think about all the Kyles on Wall Street with their stupid ass little, no offense to the Kyles, but like, they live for crypto or the stock market or whatever. They wake up every day and they, with joy, with pleasure, walk over to Wall Street and do their job from literally 9 a.m. to like 7 p.m. Whereas in Europe, people only work so that they can enjoy life and eventually retire. The stock market does not turn them on. And if they had a choice not to work, they probably wouldn't. And that is precisely why I will be moving to Europe.
God help us all. Do me a favor and go as far west as possible. Even when you reach UK, just keep walking west. It doesn't matter, it looks like water, but you'll be fine. Just walk west. The biggest difference between Europe and US is, how do you know? And why is it that out of 331 million people you gave me Kyle as an example? Shout out to Kyle, he found a job he loves. He lives to work. Great. The rest of us who work to live, we're not that different no matter where we're from. For me to live, I need to eat. For me to eat, I need to work. It's not that hard. So yes, I work to live. And so does everyone else, even in the US, who's not that Kyle or is some Kyle, but he didn't find the job he loves. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, cause this is gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.